As we saw in those images, in 1986, Queen Elizabeth became the first British monarch to visit China. It was a historic occasion and was covered in depth by British television channels. And one of the journalists who was part of that coverage is Nick Pollard, who is with us in the studio. Welcome, Nick. So what was it like being part of such a historic occasion, and how difficult was it to cover it for the television?
It was incredibly difficult, and those pictures that we've just seen bring back some amazing memories. It all looks so slick and straightforward, but it was a huge technological exercise. We had to take several tons worth of television material, television equipment rather, including a very bulky satellite dish all the way to China. We had to hire a Chinese airline helicopter to fly the satellite dish to the very top of the Great Wall, about 25 miles outside Beijing, to make sure that we could provide live pictures to go around the world for when the Queen and Prince Philip walked along the wall, which was really remarkable. And then we flew the satellite dish around China to Shanghai, to Kunming. You saw briefly there the pictures of the Queen walking among the terracotta warriors at Xi'an, so we provided pictures of that. It was a remarkable thing to be involved in.
And we've been able to see some of the pictures that you took during that time, and the coverage successful, of course. You spent some time with the Queen during that period. What were your impressions of her, your recollections?
She's a remarkable woman, and on every royal tour like this, there is always an opportunity for the media to meet the Queen, and you might say for the Queen to meet the media as well. There were a lot of people there, as you would imagine, and the Queen, as people have said, is a consummate, or was a consummate professional, putting people at ease and asking about the sort of coverage that we were providing. And it was a gruelling tour for her. I mean, she looks very youthful there in those pictures compared to pictures we've seen in recent days. But it was still a punishing schedule. She travelled all over China, met hundreds of people, saw amazing sights, and of course met the Chinese leadership as well at a crucial time for British and Chinese relations.
And as the news of her death sinks in, here in the UK, I've heard quite a few reactions of the type, I'm not a royalist, but I really did like the Queen. Do you think she transcends the monarchy in some way?
I think she did, and it will be very interesting to see how people's view of the monarchy changes, if it does. This, if you like, is not... it's not an ideal time to assess the way the British people consider the monarchy. There will be an outpouring of sentiment and grief over the next few days. But it is interesting to look at polling that is carried out steadily, tracking polls, which suggest that a lot of the British people are enthusiastic about the monarchy, but not passionately so. They support it in comparison to any other form of state government, if you like. So it will be interesting to see whether King Charles generates the same sort of deep-seated, long-lasting affection as well as support that his mother did.
We've seen him outside Buckingham Palace meeting and greeting well-wishers. Do you think that's a symbol of how he plans to assume the role of king?
I would have thought so. I mean, he knows, if you like, if it's fair to put it this way, he has a lot of ground to make up. He has a lot of years where his mother was in the limelight, and he was, if you like, one step back. It definitely reminded me of the way the royal family engaged with the public during the week after the death of Diana and before the funeral, when there was criticism, as you will remember, about how much the royal family engaged with the public and with the process and showed some emotion. So, yep, I think it's a sign of how he will relate to the public going forward.
Nick Pollard, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts today.
Thank you.